The Japanese are not taking lightly to Ubisoft's Assassin's Creed outing in their native land. Shadows is being roundly destroyed, especially with this change.org petition that is now closing in on 75,000, and depending on when you see this video, could have eclipsed that mark because now they're sitting pretty, nearly double the mark they were the last time we talked about this. And well, it seems like the pressure has finally gotten to Ubisoft because they're starting to make some concessions. Something else we talked about at the time was that they seemingly lifted a banner of a rifle group, repurposed it, and made it time inappropriate. Not to mention all of their other historical improprieties, but for them to take responsibility and for them to finally apologize for one failing, that means that the door has been cracked open, okay? And maybe they can go ahead and correct this before the hailstorm of crap in late November comes directly to their door. Ubisoft Japan apologizes for using Japanese reenactment group's banner without permission in Assassin's Creed Shadows. Oopsie daisy. Ubisoft Japan issued a formal apology for using a Japanese reenactment group's banner in their Assassin's Creed Shadows game. Yeah, it's interesting, right? Because when we talked about this before, it was just simply theorized that, yeah, it kind of looks like it. Actually, it's fairly accurate, but I don't know, maybe that could be our banner, maybe not. It could be an accident, but for Ubisoft Japan to simply come out and go, yeah, we stole it. Yeah, we stole it. We're sorry. I find that to be very interesting. In the middle of June, Ubisoft was accused of stealing the banner of the Sekigahara Teppo Corps. Now, as noted by former World of Warcraft team lead Mark Kern, the banner was seen worn by a soldier in the game. A member of the group was informed, yes, of the black flag and confirmed it was indeed the group's flag, as translated on Google. Translated by Google on X. He wrote, I heard a little bit about it, but it seems that the Sekigahara Rifle Corps was used in the background of the concept art of Assassin's Creed Shadows. I actually took a look at it and zoomed in and could definitely see the black flag that we use. And honestly, I'm not sure how to react. Yeah, exactly. And that's where we left this stuff off, right? He would go on to reveal he contacted Ubisoft Japan. Oh, okay. And informed them that they should seek permission to use the black flag. I registered as a user and contacted Ubisoft Japan support via inquiry form. And I told them that the concept art depicts a Sekigahara rifle Corps flag, and that they wanted to officially use it, they could contact the representative, of course. Ubisoft Japan is now officially apologized for using the black flag and noted the art featuring the banner will no longer be distributed alongside for an art book, the game's collector's edition. Yeah, we thought that we had some public domain stuff that we could just go ahead and rip off, just leading you to figure out the quality of the art assets in this game right here. Definitely, Ubisoft not learning from the annualization of Assassin's Creed, just how lazy everybody got. And that was a problem, and that was an issue about a decade ago, but now it looks like they're falling into the same old trappings. But as translated by Google, Ubisoft Japan wrote on X, we have received notice that 2 pieces of concept art previously released from Assassin's Creed Shadows use the flag of the Sekigahara Battlefield Hospitality Union Sekigahara Rifle Corps without permission. Oh, okay, cool. So yeah, we got caught stealing. Now the group was given the opportunity to apologize, and it was accepted. If you're watching this not long after I released a video on Dragon Quest III's HD or 2D HD remake, removing gender, as you can see, machine translations, not exactly all that articulate. Don't exactly make for great localized translations. So there's another point in my book for that one. The group gave us the opportunity to apologize, and it was accepted. Yeah, that's about the clunkiest way that you could say that. And the art in question will not be used or distributed any further beyond this date, except for being included in the art book in the collector's edition. We deeply apologize for this manner. Or instead of, I don't know, maybe working something out and trying to shake that idea that you guys are besmirching history. But hey, I guess you can't quite patch out one of the main characters at this point, right? But it's interesting when you have an industry veteran like Yoshiki Okamoto, okay, Monster Strike, Street Fighter 2 developer, talking about Assassin's Creed Shadows and says, hey, yeah, it's a game, it's a fantasy, it's not reality. Why is everybody so mad at the Black Samurai? Well, okay, brother. here's the thing, okay? Even with Street Fighter 2, as stereotypical as that game was, nobody was under the illusion that was going to be historically accurate. Nobody was looking at Chun-Li asking, oh, from which dynasty does she derive her spinning bird kick, okay? Which Chinese emperor taught her ancestors the Kikoshin? Or nobody was thankful, okay, especially from Brazilian heritage, that you could finally tell the tale of Blanca about how he became imbued with electricity, had his hair dyed orange and his skin turned green. You're dealing with two different animals right here, okay? And this is somebody that, yeah, I guess Ubisoft is trying to cherry pick to run damage control for. It's just you're dealing with somebody who is trying to compare apples to oranges. Street Fighter 2 and Monster Strike developer Yoshiki Okamoto addressed the backlash against Ubisoft and Assassin's Creed Shadows. The game has received significant backlash in both the West and Japan. Recently, a petition, yes, we talked about that before, nearly 50,000 at the time of this article, and has well surpassed that mark. As initially reported in Automaton, okay, Okamoto addressed the backlash and shared his opinion on the game in a YouTube upload. He noted, I'm aware the game is currently facing all kinds of backlash, but I'd like to talk about things from a more positive perspective. Oh my god, he specifically discussed the game's dual protagonist system, with Yasuke being the more brute tank and Aoi being a stealthy ninja. Automaton's Amber V, who translated portions of the video and described to others, detailed that Okamoto is excited for the system because it is something he attempted to create with games Genji, Dawn of the Samurai, and Genji, Days of the Blade, but never achieved. Okay, so he's talking about the technical aspects, which could be interesting. Okay, there are some things that you probably could learn from this game. It's just, as Assassin's Creed has always tell a historical tale, how they're being held up to those standards that they used to espouse, well, they're not exactly finding success. Okay, he noted we weren't able to pull it off at the time, but I think Ubisoft will, which is why I have high hopes. So it's almost like they're using a misleading headline. Oh, it's almost like he's talking about different things here. Very interesting. As far as criticism of the game's historical and cultural representation, Okamoto downplayed them, saying it's a game, it's a fantasy, it's not reality. Even if Oda Nobunaga's family crest is upside down, that's just Oda Nobunaga in the game, it doesn't impact how entertaining the game is. It would be fair, but again, it's Assassin's Creed, and it's Ubisoft aiming to tell a historically accurate story, and hey, take a look at all of our sources that say this is historically accurate when it's clearly not the case. It's a very naive view, as games such as Assassin's Creed Shadows are not just being made as games. They're not being made for escape and entertainment like Street Fighter 2 very much was, made for indoctrination. Yeah, okay, cool, you're just going to go off on your own stuff, obviously. Stuff that I do agree with, okay, because Ubisoft and several other entertainment mediums are well apprised of using these tactics in order to insert message over entertainment. It's just, this is an old dude, okay? This is somebody who's been in the game for a very, very long time. There's different values at play here, okay? He worked at Capcom. He works at Capcom in Japan. This type of stuff, yeah, it doesn't really factor in for them over there. Focused on putting out the best game possible. That's what he was talking about. Hey, look at those systems that they have. Okay, I understand where he's coming from. He's wrong with his assessment when it comes to, hey, yeah, it's just the history. It doesn't take away from anything else. And that would be true if this wasn't Ubisoft. If this wasn't a company that has a track record, a tangible track record. And that especially with this game right here, they're so steadfast in making it historical accuracy that a black guy came over. He was the most important samurai in history. And that he was actually maybe even more important to Japanese history than even Nobunaga himself. So yeah, good luck on running damage control any further, Ubisoft, okay? When you got caught with your hand in the cookie jar with the flag, that's going to be the least of your concerns moving forward. It's kind of crazy, even though we're 4 months and change out from release, I can imagine things are still going to get even worse for you. Because I'm sure some of your terrible monetization policies are about to get exposed with the release of Star Wars Outlaws, and well, that's gonna be a totally different and unique catastrophe, and one that I'm desperately looking forward to. So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.